I probably would tend to trust the Chick-fil-A family more than that, but I'm just curious if they're going to start using Palantir next, to like manage their back end stuff.
Funny that you mentioned that.
No, wait, are you have more?
I have more. Teneo Network has close ties with Dan T. Cathy, who is the Chick-fil-A family, part of
Oh
the family,
no.
who's now the chairman, former
Oh
CEO.
no.
Cathy was.
All right, so today we're talking about my favorite fast food restaurant, Chick-fil-A, and after this wonderful shining review of Chick-fil-A, you're never going to see it the same way again. So I'm being a little sarcastic here because I don't think Doug is actually going to bring a positive review. We're going to be uncovering some of the weird things happening with Chick-fil-A. So Doug, what do you got for us today?
Well, I'm definitely ready to make a lot of people mad, but you know what? If it were less than this, I would be more hesitant, but it's not less than this. So
I know a lot of people love Chick-fil-A, and obviously a lot of Christians really, like it for different reasons. But if you get mad about this, just know you can take at least one day off from being mad a week, and it'll be fine. Just take Sunday off, and you can be mad the other 6 days of the week. Okay, that was a stupid joke.
That's okay. I like stupid jokes. They're good. Chick-fil-A is the cleanest looking dirty food in America. It's supposed to be God's chicken, which I find extremely ironic considering the extreme alterations that the chicken has taken from God's actual creation. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So we're going to start with just how bad the food is for you on the health front. And then I've got a fun little like twist/bombshell thing after that. That's a little bit shorter than the first part. So we'll get into this diabolical list of ingredients that Chick-fil-A has on their sandwiches. So first of all, it's important to recognize that they have multiple different kinds of sandwiches. Some are breaded, some are just grilled and all that. None of them are good, to be honest. And I'm going to read you this list. This is going to get interesting because we'll see if I can pronounce these words. You ready? 100% natural whole breast filet, which is seasoning, salt, monosodium glutamate, sugar, spices, paprika, seasoned coder, enriched bleached flour, malted barley flour, niacin, iron, thiamine, mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, sugar, salt, monosodium glutamate, non-fat milk, leavening, baking soda, sodium aluminum, phosphate, monocalcium phosphate, spice, soybean oil, color, paprika, milk, wash, water, whole powdered egg, and non-fat milk solids, peanut oil, fully refined peanut oil with TBHQ, and citric acid added to preserve freshness, and dimethyl polysiloxane, an anti-foaming agent, added. Pickles or cucumbers, water, vinegar, salt contains less than 1% of the following: calcium, chloride, alum, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, preservatives, natural flavors, polysorbate 80, yellow number 5, blue number 1, butter flavored vegetable oil, partially hydrogenated soybean oil, palm kernel oil, lecithin, artificial flavor, TBHQ, and citric acid added as preservatives and artificial color.
Wait, that was all just in the chicken?
That's the chicken. That's not the bun.
Was there chicken somewhere in that list?
The very first ingredient is 100% natural whole breast filet.
By the end of it, I forgot the chicken was a part of it. That's crazy.
That's the chicken. Okay,
Whoa.
So this is all served on a standard 4-inch bun from a local bakery. Pretty sure this is the breaded chicken one too. So it's like the filet that has the breading on it, because that's a lot of ingredients for just chicken, which we'll get to just that one later. So they say served on a standard 4-inch bun from a bakery, but don't let that fool you. Like they said, local bakery. That just means that it's not the mom and pop bakery down the street that, produces fresh buns daily. It's still a big food processing warehouse that just happens to be closer by, and so they distribute from location. So it's very strategic. It's quite clever, actually. So it is the tiniest bit fresher than just like Chick-fil-A mass producing buns. But I found one of them. Here's one of their clients. It's Klosterman.
So this is one of the people that produces their buns for them, essentially?
Yeah, this is one of their sources for bun. They have a contract with Klosterman Foods, and these are mass bun and other baked goods producers, and they produce for Chick-fil-A. I believe
you're saying I could order a pack of 120 of those right now?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
You have Chick-fil-A buns, man. If you really like them,
I'm just going to get them in bulk.
I'll send you the link. So here are the ingredients of their buns, not quite as exhausting. Wheat flour, water, corn syrup, yeast, soybean oil contains 2% or less of the following: wheat, gluten, salt, dough conditioners, monoglycerides, ascorbic acid, calcium peroxide, azodicarbonamide, yeast nutrients, calcium sulfate, ammonium chloride, cornstarch, calcium propionate, which is a preservative. Okay.
Mm.
What do you think of all those ingredients for your basic Chick-fil-A sandwich? No sauces, nothing. That's
Oh
just
man, I want to know why there was aluminum in the chicken. Like, and I mean, obviously, we all know MSG is not good for you, and that was high on the list. It's like number three.
it was a
Yeah.
couple times on the list. Two
Oh my
times
gosh, yeah, a couple
on the list.
times. Like, if we didn't pack it enough, like here's a little extra.
Well,
Oh
the
my goodness.
aluminum comes from the baking soda, actually, which is funny. What I actually I'm such a hippie sometimes. I make my own baking soda,
Oh
or baking powder. Sorry, baking powder,
yeah,
not baking soda.
yeah.
I make my own baking powder at home, and I do not put aluminum in it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, that's like salt without the iodide or whatever.
Which I also just do sea salt, Celtic sea salt, and stuff like Redmond sea salt. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Man, that's a lot of ingredients just for those two pieces of your meal. Like that's crazy. That's yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh
the FDA approves all of these, of course, because Chick-fil-A wouldn't be able to use them. But the trick is where this gets weird is that they approve a lot of these up to a certain amount, because any more than that could be dangerous to your health or even carcinogenic, depending on what it is.
which means like if you eat it all the time, it is dangerous to your health. Like
Right.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah, that was part of my point. It's like, well, yeah, it's per food item. It's not like per Chick-fil-A meal. You know,
Right.
the FDA doesn't approve that. They don't have that kind of reach, which they shouldn't, by the way. I don't like that idea either.
Yeah.
But
Man.
so here's a good example of exactly that concept. TBHQ. I actually didn't know this one. I had to go look it up. This is here. That was the link I accidentally pulled up. Um, is approved per food item in amounts not to exceed 0.02% because the FDA, quote, doesn't have evidence that greater amounts are safe.
Mm.
This was found a couple different times in that list of the Chick-fil-A sandwich because it was approved for the use for that small amount that they used it for in that particular ingredient. And then they used a different ingredient that had that, and then a different ingredient that had that. You know, so you see how it like builds up and becomes more. It's like, well, yeah, it's only approved for like this. This is the one little serving. That's what it's
Yeah.
approved for.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's in. You multiply that amongst the rest of the cocktail of ingredients that you have there, and this is not counting the sauces, the fries, or the drinks. This literally is just a basic sandwich.
It just blows my mind when I go to a fast food restaurant and and I order a salad and I look at the calorie count and it's like almost 2,000 calories and I'm like, what? Like, where are
Yeah,
all these calories coming from? That's my daily intake right there. And I just had one salad and I thought I was being healthy by getting a salad,
right.
and it's like, well, it's because of the chicken that's on top and the few croutons and the dressing. It's like a
Yeah.
couple elements that have so many negative ingredients in them that it just like, it's crazy. Yeah.
It's almost always the sauce too, and like we could literally do a whole episode on just the sauce because it's the sauce is like the worst part. And I wanted to just pick apart the chicken because that was like, that's their claim to fame is like their chicken is
Yeah.
like, makes you feel like a homemade
And
meal
it
and it's
seems
all good
like
for you.
chicken is high protein. That should be healthy. That should be a good choice, and
Right.
it's not. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, so the chicken alone is bad. I'm like trying to make sure that people understand it's not the sauces. You can't get this sandwich and just not put sauce on it and still have a healthy meal. That's not
Mm,
how it works. You literally can't eat anything here and call it healthy.
yeah.
So you mentioned MSG. That's one of the ingredients. I pulled out one of two ingredients that were probably the most common ones to think about. And we're going to just break down real quick what they actually do so people understand that like why this is bad.
Investing can be confusing and scary, but it doesn't have to be. Genesis Gold Group takes the guessing out of the game and guides you on your gold investment journey. We at Filibusted love the genius design of the Prepper Bar, which breaks up into sections, kind of like a chocolate bar. But if you prefer high security insured gold storage, they have that too. And unlike Fort Knox, the gold is actually there, 100% owned by you. So don't wait to get started. Visit filibustedgold.com today for a free investment guide from Genesis Gold Group.
MSG is controversial. There are a lot of studies out there that say that it is harmless, and they're simply not true. There are almost just as many studies that say that they are. So it just depends on you. You can always find what you're looking for. You know what I mean? But
oh yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I could trace my headaches. I would get headaches all the time. I could trace them back to days when I ate things that had MSG in it and days when I didn't. Like very easily. It's like I had a pack of Doritos and then I'd get a headache. You know, like super. It was like I was like, oh, that's why. You know, like
yeah. Well, yeah, and I think everybody should do their own like biohacking in that way. Like try to just eliminate, like that's the best way to do it, is eliminate something from your diet and then put it back in. If you feel like crap after putting it back in, maybe you shouldn't eat that.
Yeah. Or at least, you know, understand what you're putting in your body and don't eat it all the time. Like,
right.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, Doug. I like Chick-fil-A. I'm still probably going to eat there after this episode, you know,
that's totally fine.
But I'm probably going to eat there less often, you know, like I'm probably not going to put that in my body very often. So there's that.
Well, I think that a very important part of living is enjoying your life. And sometimes enjoying your life means eating something that you know is bad for you, but man, it tastes good. And I think that's great. I think that everybody should do that. But I think that the problem comes when you're being deceived. I think that people should just know, hey, this is not actually good for you. And I think a lot of people do know that, but a lot of people don't. And I think that one of the condemnations that I have for Chick-fil-A is that they've presented themselves as this healthy alternative, like almost like they think they're not even fast food. That's the vibe that you get from it. And it's just simply not true.
Like it's a healthier version of fast food when it's really not. It's just kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's stuff on the on MSG, which is the monosodium glutamate. And just so you guys know, so everybody knows, there are multiple versions of MSG. It's not always called MSG. There are like 5 or 6 different names for it too. So it can hide in all kinds of stuff. And in fact,
it can be called natural flavors. It can be called yeast extract. Yeast extract can literally be MSG. It can be called a few different things like that, where you're just like you don't even know what it is you're eating. Yeah, but the FDA has approved those names, and I've done a little bit of research on MSG specifically, is where I found that, and it's crazy.
So MSG damages your hormones specifically. It does other things, but I'm just pulling out the top things here. Clearly, it causes reproductive issues, sperm issues with sperm count, testosterone levels, and alters the histoarchitecture of the testes, which is the microstructure of the biological tissue.
Wow.
So it actually directly attacks your manhood.
Whoa.
And then the next one is soybean oil, which also directly attacks your manhood. Soybean oil is highly susceptible to oxidization. In other words, going rancid and becoming mold. Soy in general has long been associated with low testosterone and imbalanced hormones, directly connected to gynecomastia, which is, do you know what that is by chance? It's a fun word. It's men.
Oh, yeah. I have heard about that with like soy milk and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The studies are hard to find because, in my opinion, they have been suppressed because here's why. You have to follow the money. Soybean production is a $124 billion industry annually here in America. Farmers literally get paid. This is a crop by value, whole study on it. They get paid to produce soy. This is high incentive to produce soy. We are, I think, one of the leading, if not the leading, soy producers in the world here in America. So, people don't really want the masses to know that soy is really bad for you, especially genetically modified, non-organic soy. I think that there is a place for some organic soy, but not very many places, and I still wouldn't eat it personally.
Wow.
So there are a few studies that I did find, though. This study shows a drop of testosterone by 19%. And the funny thing about this study is they presented that as a good thing. um, dropping testosterone
What?
because it was increasing cardiovascular health. That's why.
Oh,
So
that's
soy
strange.
does actually increase your cardiovascular health. That's true, but it decreases your testosterone at the same time.
Hmm.
And for people with prostate issues, that could be a good thing. But if
I
you
see.
don't have that, then maybe you should reevaluate. And then here's another study showing the overall reduction in the size of testes and reduction in overall testosterone
Wow,
from soy.
that's crazy.
So I thought it was interesting that we could literally point out how these two ingredients specifically attack um, masculinity in a way, and maybe that's a stretch. I don't know, but it's not too much of a stretch for me to believe that there are people in this world who would like to see men not being men, and that's
Wow.
kind of what that comes down to.
I think there's people that really want that to happen. I mean, the breakdown of society, starts with the breakdown of the family, and the breakdown of the family is a culmination of the breakdown of the role of a man, the role of a woman, and that looks
Mm-hmm.
different in different families, but God created men and women, in certain ways. He gave us certain attributes and certain, obviously we're biologically different. Men have a lot more testosterone at a young age than a woman.
Right.
A woman has a little bit, but not nearly as much, and there's a reason for that. Like God made us different, and so if people can alter God's design, then they can essentially control society, and be able to control. So yeah, I don't know if, the people that are behind the food industry, probably not the owners of Chick-fil-A, obviously, but
No, I
I
don't
would
think so.
guess, but like the people behind the food industry that are pushing all these things and incentivizing the farmers and incentivizing all, the FDA and everything. It's like I could see people that that were using that as a tactic, absolutely,
Yeah.
because they want certain agendas to be pushed, they want certain things to happen, and if you can give it a push naturally in that direction, then yeah, it's going to be easier to make it happen. So yeah, no, I don't see that as a stretch.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's a good perspective on it. And like you said, though, I don't think that the I think it's the Cathy family. I don't think that they want that. But at the same time, this is kind of what's happening, and it's through their process. So there's one more ingredient that I did want to talk about. I forgot it just wasn't in the list of like within the chicken, and that's the peanut oil. And
Mm,
they make that sound like it's a good thing. They fantastic marketing. I'll say that much.
yeah.
But peanuts actually are just bad for you in general. And I'm going to ruin this for everybody's going to like hate me by the end of this. Um, peanuts are highly susceptible to mold. And oftentimes I literally just call them mold because they have that much mold on them generally by the time they get to you. They're technically legumes, not nuts, in case, fun fact of the day. They are
Oh,
grown underground in high moisture environments, thus mold. And they really like this particular contaminant known as aflatoxin, a carcinogen associated with liver cancer and known to stunt growth in children. This is the natural state of peanuts. This is just how they are. So, in other
wow.
words, we're not even talking about pesticides. We're not talking about um, anything that you put on the peanut itself. This is the peanut. This is how it comes. Organic, whatever, doesn't matter. Now squeeze the oil out of them, expose that oil to oxidization, fry it all day long. Don't change the oil. And that's what you have your Chick-fil-A sandwich in because that's the meat.
Wow. And obviously, like deep fried food is not good either because it's so full of the oil too. But oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy, man. I'm not super into peanuts anyways, as it is, but I know some
Yeah.
people are. So I like I can go for like a jar of planters every once in a while though. But man, yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I have a
I just
question
really
for
feel
you.
like there was a design for this world, that God had, especially when the Garden of Eden was around, all that kind of stuff. It's like I feel like there was a design for food, and it all just got like distorted, like perverted.
Absolutely.
Um, and yeah, and a lot of things are not half as good as they once were. But
No, I agree
that's
with that.
crazy.
Well, I have a question for you. Here's a fun little test. Would you rather eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich, like I just described, or a quarter pounder from McDonald's?
Mm. I would go for the Chick-fil-A sandwich just because I don't like McDonald's. I mean, I don't like the flavor, you know.
Well,
So
fair enough.
I would go for the sandwich just because I like the flavor better.
Well, talking health wise, that's a trick question because technically and only barely the quarter pounder is healthier for you,
Really?
which is kind of mind blowing.
I would not have
So
guessed that. That's crazy.
I know it's also poison.
It's also
I'm really
bad.
not encouraging anybody to go eat at McDonald's anything. Period. It's all still
Right.
garbage, but it's
I mean, just
slightly
you can
better.
go watch the documentary Supersized, you know, where the guy goes and eats at
Yeah.
McDonald's for a month and like literally his doctor says you have to stop or else you're going to die.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it's is intense. It's insane. Like the health changes in his life over a course of a month of eating at McDonald's. It's so bad, like for every meal, you know, but still
Right.
it's so bad. And his doctor says, please
Was it
stop.
just McDonald's or
Just
did he do
McDonald's
other?
for 1 month. And his,
Oh, I thought he ate at other restaurants
no,
too.
it's
I
just
didn't realize it was just
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
And his doctor begs him to stop. He's like, you're going to kill yourself. Like it is
Man.
crazy. Yeah. Anyways,
Ugh.
worth the
Yeah.
watch.
That sounds kind of worth. I don't know. I think I'll just take your word for it. I don't know if I want to watch that.
It permanently put a stamp in my brain. McDonald's not healthy, and I was like, okay.
I bet. Well, I did a side by side comparison of the Chick-fil-A grilled chicken, not the breaded one, because I wanted to get as close to the same kind of thing as possible,
Yeah,
and the McDonald's quarter pounder. Everything basically is the same except for the meat. Okay, the meat is where it changes. So everything is generally as poisonous, except the meat is different. I'm gonna blaze through this list for you because here's just the chicken. This isn't breaded chicken.
let's do it.
This is from Chick-fil-A's site right here. Grilled chicken sandwich. Okay, ingredients: chicken, boneless, skinless chicken breast containing up to 17% solution of water, seasoning, yeast extract, onion powder, sea salt, garlic powder, sugar, salt, corn, maltodextrin, gum arabic, natural flavor, lemon juice concentrate, vinegar solids, chicken flavor, chicken breast meat, chicken stock, salt, maltodextrin, modified cornstarch, dried vinegar, apple cider vinegar, water, soybean oil, sugar, cane molasses, salt, spices, chicken fat, dehydrated onion, yeast extract, corn, maltodextrin, lemon peel, dehydrated garlic, red bell pepper, paprika, parsley, xanthan gum, natural flavor, including smoke, and calcium disodium, EDTA, to protect quality, high oleic canola oil with dimethyl polysiloxane added to reduce foaming. That's grilled chicken. Just the chicken. Now, quarter pounder is 100% pure USDA inspected beef, no fillers, no extenders, prepared with grill seasoning, salt, black pepper.
That's it.
That's it.
Whoa,
Isn't that shocking? I expected more too.
that's crazy.
So if you took a patty, just the patty, which would be insane, don't do this. This is psychotic behavior, from a quarter pounder, and grilled chicken from that sandwich, and just compared those two side by side and ate one or the other, the McDonald's quarter pounder patty would be less poisonous to your system than the Chick-fil-A chicken.
That's crazy. I did not realize that.
It kind of blew my mind. Now, there are conspiracy theories out there about McDonald's lying about their meat, which I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised by, but there's no evidence, and I wasn't even going to go down that route because that's just, it gets deep and dark and weird. So once again, I still
Wow.
don't recommend eating it, but according to their websites and in their ingredients, that's the difference. Now, if that wasn't enough for you, I believe that Chick-fil-A has positioned itself as part of the new world order technocracy that's coming down the pipeline. And that sounds completely unrelated from the food. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
We just went a lot deeper, Doug. This just got crazy.
I couldn't help it when I was reading this stuff on Chick-fil-A. I was just like, man, there's more here. I know it. It just like my spirit was like, go further.
So, Doug, here's my theory now is,
Yeah.
you know how the Sabbath day is like a holy day? It's if you want to keep eating at Chick-fil-A after this, feel free to just make sure you do it on a Sunday. You know, like that's the one day I'm going to eat at Chick-fil-A, right? And the Sabbath day is going to save me from becoming a part of the technocracy.
Well, but you'd have to eat old leftover, right? Because they're closed on Sunday.
I mean, I'm not going to eat at Chick-fil-A. Oh, I will tell you a story though. I have extended family members that love Chick-fil-A so much that they order Chick-fil-A a big platter on Saturday night, and then they have it for lunch on Sunday.
Wow.
day old Chick-fil-A.
Wow. That's the MSG taking over their brain and controlling them for sure because
Let's
I
hear this next part. I want to hear what.
Chick-fil-A is actively pursuing and developing a shift to digital governance. And this is real stuff, most of it. Some of it's
Oh,
speculation, but I've got some interesting things here. Chick-fil-A is experimenting with um, AI ordering, not just AI taking your order, which most people would be fine with, but also AI learning you and logging your behaviors into their system, recording
wow.
audio of your voice, transcribing that text, mining timing data, how you phrase things, how fast you talk, like your general behavior, and tying it to your ticket and then therefore your personal information, making it easy, quote unquote. So this is convenience because then you'll be able to connect your habits and behaviors conveniently to your Chick-fil-A app that they also push pretty heavily. They already
Weird.
use robots everywhere, from squeezing lemons to delivery. Delivery has been suspended, though, temporarily as they evaluate the data that they received in a recent pilot study for
Okay.
this. And in addition to that, they are investigating license plate. Oh, continue to say license plate recognition software. So this is being used for multiple agencies, multiple drive-throughs all over the place. But Chick-fil-A is a pioneer in this area, and as mentioned in this article, it's combined with geolocation, the thing where you pull up to an area and your phone says, "Hey, it looks like you're at Chick-fil-A. Would you like to order a sandwich?"
Mm,
And so they're developing a new smart drive-through system, and Chick-fil-A is kind of leading the way in that. So this is all part of the fourth industrial revolution, which is physical plus digital plus biological integration. It's not just robots, it's networked data coordinated automation. Chick-fil-A is the leader in this revolution on the food front, at least, and they have a trust buffer by being Christian. People will just go ahead and be like, well, but it's Chick-fil-A, so they can't be doing this for bad reasons. It's okay if they have all of my information and watch everything that I do and listen in on everything that I say. Thoughts?
interesting. Well, I mean, I don't know. I probably would tend to trust the Chick-fil-A family more than that, but I think after hearing that, I would say my guess would be that they're going for innovation, they're going for efficiency,
Yeah.
and they're saying yes to some things that are going to be part of this system. That
Yeah.
maybe they should be wary of. But I don't know. I don't know them personally. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But also like I'm just curious if they're going to start using Palantir next. To like manage their back end stuff.
Funny that you mentioned that.
No, wait. Are you? You have more?
I have more. So this Peter Thiel uh, co-founded conservative elite networking group is called Teneo. Teneo Network has close ties with Dan T. Cathy, who is the Chick-fil-A family, part of
Oh
the family,
no!
who's now the chairman, former
Oh
CEO.
no!
Cathy was a speaker at the Teneo Network retreat. So he's not a known member of Teneo, but I wouldn't be surprised if he actually was a member. Teneo has hundreds and hundreds of members, and not all of them have been made public. Only a few of
Whoa!
them. One of those members includes JD Vance, of course,
Oh no! Oh my god!
and also they get donations from the Koch linked foundation, KOCH, Koch linked foundation. So the Koch family built just this, and this is a little bit more disconnected, all right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not, this isn't a smoking gun or like, but for me it falls under the category of when you see smoke, typically there's flames, right? That whole
Yep.
saying. But all
Yeah.
I can see right now is the smoke. Okay, that's it. I haven't seen anything more than this. But just a quick little breakdown: the Koch family, who is involved in this Teneo network with Vance and with Teal, and who is indirectly linked to Dan Cathy of Chick-fil-A,
Oh
they
no!
built this system called I360, which is a data mining system that has learned certain behaviors from individuals such as diet interest, outdoor ad interest, internet purchase propensity, education level, religion code, years in residence, etc. The list goes
Mm,
on. That's the Koch brothers.
wow!
Um, so the Teneo network is the foundation for the new conservative technocratic revolution that I believe will eventually run the world. So at the
Wow!
end of the day, I commend the Cathy family for being really strong on their Christian values and the world and politics, and I really think that they're doing a lot of good things. I'm not saying that they're not doing that, but
Yeah.
they are becoming part of this system that is probably not what they would really want, as far as what their surface values show.
Yeah.
And my
Wow.
my argument is that it's going to be eventually the counterfeit Christianity.
Yeah. No, man, that's interesting. Gosh, I think that blew my mind, like that's crazy. Okay. I just mentioned Palantir because I was like, well, that feels like the next step. And
Yeah,
I guess it is.
it is. I mean, the next step that hasn't happened yet completely, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're courting each other right now is what it looks like.
Well, that was a good episode, man. I'm going to go get some Chick-fil-A now and have some lunch. So, and think through my life,
It is lunchtime.
rethink
Yes.
my life. Gold is not just a backup plan if the world falls apart. It's an investment opportunity that could set you up for generations. There's never really a bad time to invest in gold, but you want to make sure you have the right guide, and that is where Genesis Gold Group shines. Whether you are a first-time buyer or a seasoned investor, their trusted expertise and competitive pricing makes them an easy choice. They offer tangible assets in case of emergencies, but they can also design the perfect IRA just for you. And they'll even cut through all that confusing red tape from the IRS. We at Filibusted love the genius design of the Prepper Bar, which breaks up into sections like a chocolate bar. But if you prefer a more high-security insured gold storage, they have that too. And unlike Fort Knox, the gold is actually there and 100% owned by you. Genesis Gold Group is a safe, simple, and convenient way to invest. Visit filibustedgold.com today for your free investment guide from Genesis Gold Group. Whoa. Who's moving my mouse around the screen? My mouse is moving itself around the screen right now.
Uh-oh. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
That is weird. It's literally like moving itself around the screen. I'm not touching the thing. What on earth? It's still doing it. It's doing it again. All right, it's done.